This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Singer, artist, and photographer from the Oak Ridge Boys, William Lee Golden on this edition of Conversations. William Lee Golden has gone from Brewton, Alabama to the top of the country music industry. As a member of the Oak Ridge Boys, he has been a part of a group that for years dominated the country music charts and airwaves. The Oak Ridge Boys sold millions of records and garnered numerous awards. Their hits include Elvira, Bobby Sue, Y'all Come Back Saloon, and Thank God for Kids. In addition to the Oak Ridge Boys, William Lee Golden also found success as a solo musical artist. But lately, it's been art of a different nature that is capturing attention. William Lee Golden's paintings have been on exhibit at the Tennessee State Museum, the Pensacola Museum of Art, the Gilcrease Museum of Art in Tulsa, and the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum in Texas. We welcome William Lee Golden to this edition of Conversations. Pleasure to have you, sir.
Jeff, so good to be on your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're actually, first off, I'd just like to say thank you for playing our records when you were a superstar country music disc jockey.
That's right.
Before you evolved into television, man. If it hadn't have been for you and people across the country that were spinning those records, they wouldn't have sold near as many, so thank you.
Well, it was absolutely my pleasure. It's kind of funny, I'll share with the audience, you and I were talking prior to going on the air, and when I was in high school, worked in radio and worked in country music radio, and that would have been 1983, 84 time frame, and of course the Oak Ridge Boys were smoking hot, and Bobby Sue and Elvira, and still Y'all Come Back Saloon, I told you, is one of my favorites, and Leaving Louisiana in the Broad Daylight, so that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So
we still sing all of those songs.
It's great. Well, oddly enough, how did you get interested in music? At what point in your life did music take hold of you?
It actually started when I was real young. Growing up in Brewton, Alabama, out on the farm south of Brewton there right at the Florida state line. My sister, my mother taught me how to play guitar and sing and how to sing harmonies. And Lynette and I would play and sing and practice at home on the farm, and then we'd sing in church some, but then we got to the point when I was 8, 9 years old, Granddaddy Golden had a radio show in Brewton, and every week he would invite us to come and sing a song on there. So when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, and 10, we were playing songs and singing on the radio. So it actually started at a young age for me. And then in high school, I was singing in the FFA quartet. And then after school, singing, I formed a couple of different groups singing, because I just love singing. I had a passion for music. And it was through singing in those settings after school that I got to meet the Oak Ridge Boys, and I was a big fan of their music. They had a couple of CDs out, or records out, actually. It was the old LPs.
Back in those days,
and it was called the Oak Ridge Boys with Sounds of Nashville. And then they had a folk-minded spirituals for spiritual-minded folks album. That was on Warner Brothers Records. And so that was, I was a big fan of their music before, and then getting to meet them and sing with them during that time period, it evolved and developed into a friendship that I talked to them about. If they had I knew they had a member change during that time period, and they got another guy in the group. So I made a trip to Nashville and talked to Smitty Gatlin, who was the lead singer, and kind of helped manage the group, and told him that if they ever had another opening that I'd love to try out for the job. A couple of months later, Smitty called and said, "Hey man, we're about to make a change in the baritone position." He said, "We're in the market for a baritone singer. Are you still interested in coming up and trying out?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to." Said, when I need to be there? He said, well, if you can be here Monday. I took off and went up there, tried out. They said, well, we like it. Said, we want you to, can you start this coming weekend, you know? I said, well, yeah, but I need to run back to Bruton. And I went back to Bruton. I had left the farm and was kind of working at a paper mill up there. So I went back to Bruton and gave my resignation at the paper mill, and I told him I wanted to go ahead and apply for my 2-week vacation now. So I give you my 2-week resignation, and because I wanted to leave in good standing just in case, you know, to have something to fall back on. But I've been going forward ever since.
Well, now, the Oak Ridge Boys for the longest time were primarily in more gospel music. Is that correct?
That's right.
And how did the transition go from gospel to more on the country side of things?
Well, after I joined the Oak Ridge Boys in 1965, I joined. I was a kid, and actually we were singing gospel, touring all over the U.S. and then to Canada and places. And so I traveled and singing, and a year or so later, another guy kind of dropped, and so I was involved with helping find replacements sometimes if somebody, you know, you keep your eye out in the business of what's going on. But it was, we sang and was successful in gospel music there for about 10 years, 9 or 10 years, and then it seemed that we had kind of won most of the awards as a young, kind of a contemporary gospel singing group, and we had formed a band with the group by that time, and I had a great drummer, Mark Ellerby. He was from Tallahassee, Florida, and musicians, and so in contemporary gospel, we were kind of hitting a good stride, but it seemed like it was a limited business. That gospel music at that time, radio only wanted to play it most of the time on Sunday. There were not like full-time gospel stations. But so it was a thing of feeling like that we needed to expand our music to get our music on the other 6 days of the week. Right. So it was an economics decision in a way, but we all love singing gospel music. We still love to sing gospel music, but it happened that we were touring, opening shows at that time, getting to know Johnny Cash and Roy Clark and Mel Tillis and some of those guys that we'd toured with. And it was natural to want to expand our music because we realized what great people they were, and that it was, you could sing gospel music in front of any audience, and the country fans were basically, they all went to church too, but they were out there enjoying country music on Saturday night and Friday night. And so it was a natural evolution for us in expanding our music. And so we met during that time. We got to know Jim Halsey, who was managing Roy Clark and Mel, and Jim was the top country music manager in country music at that time. He also had an LA office that focused really on network television. Okay. So there was a top television agent in LA that ran that office, and so Jim Halsey, he signed us and talked to the label. We got out of the label that we were in that didn't quite know what to do with us. We were trying to cross over, but we were in that gray area, I guess. But we were able to, Jim Halsey got us with ABC Records, which then was bought by MCA Records, and that's where our first album was produced by Ron. They were all produced by Ron Chancey, but it was, we had the first album was called the Y'all Come Back Saloon. And we released that song. It went up way up the charts real fast. It got to number 2 and it sat there. The next week it was still number 2. and it wouldn't go no further. There was one song ahead of it, and that song kept staying number one, and we were sitting there at number two. And the one song that we could never get that stayed there was a song by the Kendalls called "Heaven's Just a Cent Away."
I remember that.
So anyhow, that was our first country hit record, and it was started a run that was in 1977, and then in 1981 we had Elvira, which really, our music, we'd gone from gospel singers to country singers, and then all at once in 1981, Elvira, it went to the top of the country charts. It spilled over into pop and rock, and every station that was playing music was playing Elvira. Yeah. And it became the biggest song of 1981.
You picked up a Grammy for that, didn't you? Or?
We did.
Yeah. Plus a whole basket full of country music awards for it. And then, if I remember correctly, you followed that up with what, Bobby Sue, wasn't it?
We had a song followed that with Fancy Free, which was kind of the title of the album that Elvira was on.
Okay.
But then following that song was Bobby Sue.
Okay.
In 1982, it was Bobby Sue, and then it did the same thing. Went to the top of country music and spilled right over into pop and rock, and became a huge crossover. It was a spillover for us, but people called them crossovers then. It crossed beyond the country barriers into other popular music stations.
How did life change for William Lee Golden and the Oak Ridge Boys as a whole when that happened? Because you were in a whole different league at that point.
Yeah, we went from, we were doing well at that point that Elvira came out. We were playing big shows. I know we went on what they call a full house tour. We did 250-something dates with Kenny Rogers and Dottie West, and we were kind of the opening act for that big arena show. Mm-hmm. We had a arena tour that every seat was always sold. People waiting, trying to scalp tickets, but we went from that for about 3 years playing with Kenny Rogers, and to when Elvira hit, boom, that it was the Oak Ridge Boys headlining the arenas, and so that was kind of, it goes from, but you know what, I think that it was working with Kenny Rogers and Johnny Cash and Roy Clark that gave us the foundation of being in those arena type settings, that when it finally became our time to be the headline and act, that we were able to hopefully successfully bridge that gap. We brought in bigger production that we were taking with us, laser lights, it was a much larger production with semi-trucks on the road. And I believe that we were probably at that time were the first group to ever bring the laser light type shows that was involved with the production into country music tours.
Interesting. What has kept the Oak Ridge Boys at such a high level for so long? And for that matter, what's kept you together as a group? I asked that question because I knew you left for a while and then came back. Tell me that story and what's been the secret?
Well, what keeps us together, what brought us back together was the love of music first, our mutual love of music, and also the respect we have for the fact of the hit records we had. That's what the people made hit records. They want to see the people that actually sing on the hit records. That's who they want to see in person. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see replacements. They don't want to see you as much without the other guys as they do with the guys, and which is good. You know, we're longtime friends. We respect each other. Each guy brings a whole different mix to the table, and it's that combination of those elements that makes it unique and sounding different and being different, because we all come from different backgrounds. I grew up right up the road here at Brewton, Alabama, and went to school there 12 years. And so it was a situation of the music still is the best thing. We travel together about 160 days still, all over the country, U.S. and Canada. We're out there touring. About 160 days on the road with these guys. You're as close as, you know, we see each other more than we do relatives.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And sometimes as much as we do our families. But it's a thing that I think we've got beyond what any little petty differences. I can't remember what it was all about. I think it was probably because I was having too much fun and just kind of running wild every day and enjoying it. So that was basically, so I've mellowed and and we'll get into another dimension of that in a few minutes here, but
yes,
just kind of help keep me out of trouble, you know.
Well, speaking of that, I think you're talking about your painting, and
yeah,
you know, it's one thing to have success in one career, but now you're starting to really get some good recognition here off your painting. I mean, you've got a painting in the George H.W. Bush Library and obviously museums around. But how did you get interested in this? Is this something you were doing for a long time, or was it just on a whim, or what?
I wasn't, man. It was 11 years old when 11 years ago when my little boy Solomon was an infant that I was given a gift of painting supplies. I've always loved traveling, going to museums, art galleries, and you know, you can kind of feel a thing about the local area from your art galleries and
Sure.
The local artists in that area. They always seem to find the great landscapes to gravitate toward and paint, and photographers too. So I would go. I've always loved kind of taking a camera and shooting photographs of landscapes, but then to be able to use that as reference sometimes, the different photographs to kind of put the composition of a painting together. So it was something that traveling, loving art. I've got several professional artist friends that are very talented artists professionally, and different artists, friends that paint different styles, but some frontier type painters, and but it was I always kind of wanted to try it, but I never took the time to go buy the supplies. But when I started painting and reading about it, about the techniques, and studying other artists and going to museums again, and I kind of picked it up, started, and it's something that I do on the road. Okay. So that kind of, we were just talking about me getting out there and burning the candle on the road. Well, I take my art supplies on the road. It starts on tour. I take them into my hotel room, and during the day, I set up an easel by the window and I work on a landscape. And it takes me several weeks and sometimes a few months to finish a big painting now. When I first started, I was, I guess, painting faster, and the quality of what I was putting out, I kept wanting to grow, and I started knowing more about the techniques and the underpaintings and the layering, and how many, some of my paintings have 8, 10, 12 layers of paint on a canvas. So, and it's different hues, and it's kind of as it lays in, and some of it will be in thin versions, so that some of the under layers kind of shine through. It gives it a depth and a luminosity of depth. So But I do that in the daytime, and the day flies by. I usually kind of in a room by myself, uninterrupted, but I don't really listen to music or watch stuff. I just focus on what I'm doing, and then as it evolves, I finally get it to where I want it to be, and then finally sign it 4 or 5 months later sometimes.
This particular one that we have on the screen here is called Busch Garden.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about this one.
We've been fortunate to visit several times, a lot of times, every year in Kennebunkport, Maine, at the home of President George H.W. and Barbara Bush. This is Barbara Bush's flower garden. It's right outside of her bedroom, or their bedroom. And she walks out, and while we're visiting there, you know, sometimes in the mornings, you'll see her out with her hat on and a little basket. She'll be cutting flowers out of her flower garden and putting them in the vase in the house and having fresh cut flowers in her home from her garden. And anyhow, it was a challenge. It took me 6 months to each of those flowers has had probably 7 or 8 coats of paint on it, but to slowly paint that, all of those type flowers are in her garden. It's the colors are, to stand there in person, it's just, it'll just give you a chill to see that setting. And so, and they love the painting, and they had seen it. Took a canvas G-clave of it, and they were just taken with it, and they wanted that for their bungalow. And we decided to donate the original painting to the Presidential Library. It's on a permanent collection there now. So
What a wonderful honor.
yeah, but Barbara's, every time that we go visit, she always takes me down to the bungalow to show me 2 paintings that I did there that she has of mine.
That's great. Here's another one of your paintings. What is this?
That's the Grand Tetons up at the Grand Tetons in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's a reflection of them there on a beaver pond. But I love that setting and the sunrise hitting the clouds and how it changes all of those colors. And it's kind of a springtime when the snow is melting and the beaver ponds are filling. But I love that area.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
a beautiful area of the country, and that's one of my larger paintings. I've painted 2 paintings that size. It's 3 feet by 4 feet in size, and that's without the frame. The canvas is 36 by 48 inches.
Large painting.
And anyhow.
One more I want to get on. Is this Ozark Mountain?
Yeah, that's, we titled it that after a song that I had with the Oak Ridge Boys called Ozark Mountain Jubilee. That was a big top country record in our career. But I use that because it's part of that is from the Ozark Mountains up there, and it's an autumn setting, and it's kind of mixed with a little bit of the Smoky Mountain look, you know, with the clouds low on the mountains and the fog kind of lifting off of it and the depth that it gives it. But I love the autumn colors. Autumn and spring both have beautiful colors, but they're both different. You got to change your palette from the springtime. In fact, this is a Smoky Mountain spring. This painting is on permanent display at the Tennessee State Museum, and they had asked me to donate a painting after one of my big museum showings in Nashville at the Tennessee State Museum. And so rather than donate something that I already had, I asked them, could I paint a painting, since it would be for the museum on a long-term basis. And I chose the beautiful Smoky Mountains in springtime with the rhododendrons in it, the flaming azaleas and the purple iris and under the bushes and the little yellow flowers, and there's a setting on a hillside looking down with the river that runs through, and you can see the Smoky Mountains in the distance.
Well, nature gives you some wonderful things to work with, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can never get it as good as nature, but it's sure, nature inspires me.
I've got about 2 minutes left. Tell me what's next for you from a painting standpoint and from a music standpoint.
Well, we're working, I say we're working. We've recorded a live project. We had several shows that was done live. And I went in kind of tweaking some spots on the recording that some maybe drums had leaked through the mic, and they wanted to kind of isolate that for the mix. And my art, I've got Tennessee. All of these paintings are on display here at the Pensacola Museum of Art through the end of August. And I have my photography that's on display at the Pensacola Airport. And it's to continue painting. Painting keeps me out of trouble.
I want to mention too, you have, which I think is really neat, a CD that you talk about your art, and I know you're being interviewed by Kix Brooks, and then there's some songs that sort of relate to art on that. Now, is this available on your website, or?
Yeah, it's on my website, and that painting there, Pam Lewis had the idea of them pouring. Pam is she's a publicist in Nashville. She was Garth Brooks' co-manager.
Okay.
And she was also one of the publicists that put MTV on the air. She worked for Nickelodeon when they launched MTV, and she was one of 5 people they said, we want to start this new network. But Pam had the idea. She said, let's put together a photo session. I want to pour paint on you now. But it would be a cool shot. It would be something people talk about at the water fountain. Yeah. She said, and it's a dramatic thing, but you won't believe how cold and heavy paint is when they're pouring big buckets of it from up on ladders down on you.
I can imagine.
But it didn't take me long. I had to get out of those clothes and get some shampoo on and hurry.
We're done. Thanks, my friend. What a pleasure.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks
pleasure.
for having me here.
My pleasure. William Lee Golden. By the way, you can keep up with William Lee Golden's art and music at williamleegolden.com. And of course, you can watch more of our conversations online at wsre.org/conversations. I'm Jeff Weeks. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Take great care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.
Support for this program is provided in part by these corporate sponsors. And by viewers like you.